Squibb Group goes to work in the stockbroker belt. There's a big bang in Finland, and Engcon has a new trick up its sleeve. All that and more on the Weekend Wrap. Almost £57,000 worth of tools were stolen each day in 2020, according to data from the Metropolitan Police. Tool theft has cost tradesmen in London more than £38 million in the last 2 years and £17.5 million in 2020 alone, the Metropolitan Police data revealed. As the construction industry attempts to recover from lockdown, As the construction industry attempts to recover from lockdown bans on non-essential work, new data shows there were 28,338 individual tool thefts reported, and that was across London, and that was from 2019 up to May 2021. Barnet, Enfield, Ealing, Waltham Forest and Haringey are the 5 boroughs where figures were the highest, with thefts in Barnet accounting for nearly 15% of the total. By contrast, Merton, Richmond upon Thames, Hammersmith and Fulham, Kensington and Chelsea and Kingston upon Thames suffered the lowest number of tool thefts. The findings collated by London plant hire specialist Hart's Tools came from a Freedom of Information request to the Metropolitan Police. The data reveals that the impact of tool theft on livelihoods, the cost of the crime, and the most affected areas in London. Thieves are apparently 10 times more likely to steal powered hand tools than non-powered hand tools, with 32,067 taken from 2019 to 2021, compared to just 2,993 non-powered hand tools. Only 1% of those powered hand tools were recovered, underlining the need to prevent the theft in the first place. Stefano Lobban, director of Hart's Tools, said it's been a tough couple of years for tradesmen and people working in construction, with COVID-19 really restricting their ability to work. The last thing they need is their tools being stolen, but this new data shows just how common that reality is, particularly in the capital. Unfortunately, thieves are often attracted to high-price items like powered hand tools. Of course, when these items are stolen, it's even harder for tradesmen to replace them due to the high cost. We just hope that people take these new figures as a warning and make sure they're vigilant. Now, coincidentally, this weekend I saw on my LinkedIn feed a post from a recruitment company that had been approached for labouring work by a qualified and experienced carpenter who was now unable to ply his usual trade because his tools had been stolen. As that post stated, the man had spent thousands of pounds on tools so that he can provide for his family. Thousands of pounds mastering his trade and earning the required qualifications, and now has suffered thousands of pounds in lost earnings. That LinkedIn post ends, "You're not stealing a piece of equipment, you're stealing someone's livelihood. The punishment needs to start reflecting this." The first ZX130-7 medium excavator in Europe has been purchased by the specialist groundworks and infrastructure contractor MV Kelly right here in the UK. Now, to say that MV Kelly is a loyal Hitachi customer is something of an understatement. Over the years, the company has bought more than 3,000 Hitachi excavators from Hitachi Construction Machinery UK, or HCM UK as their friends like to call them. The company currently has 543 Xaxis machines ranging from the ZX33U-6 right up to the ZX300-6 medium excavator, and they're working across some 227 sites in central England. Now, I'm delighted that we can bring you some exclusive footage of this new ZX130-7 in action. So let's roll that film.
Hi, I'm Peter Haddock, today it's going to be another live from me, afraid, folks. It's been a busy time on site. Today, guess who I'm with? I can never get this right. Sunbelt Rentals here at a secret location in the outskirts of Birmingham. And guess what, folks? Birmingham is a low emissions clean air zone city now. That joins London and other cities around the UK and many more that are going to go clean air. What does that mean for the construction industry? Well, it means we've got to do things differently, doesn't it? So we're actually here on site at a very large project in the Midlands. And so fundamentally, that project is taking big strides to go zero emissions. And I've been invited today by Sunbelt Rentals to the Zero Emissions Day and their Innovation Day. And so what we're going to learn today is about how that business, Sunbelt Rentals, is going full bore with the low carbon future. And that's really important because we're not just talking about this electric machine, this 6-meter long telehandler, fully electric from JCB. We're not just talking about that. We're not just talking about that Wacker Neuson 1.5 ton fully electric dumper. We're actually talking about a whole emissions change. So we're talking about the site. We're talking about the site cabins. We're talking about how we're bringing in alternative fuels like HVO. We're talking about how we're going to change the perception of electric by showing people that the battery power is there, the functionality is there. These are great machines. They really are super quiet. Again, another important thing on sites like this in the cities, but they're super efficient as well. And of course, the infrastructure that needs to go with them is slightly different because we need charging panels. We don't need diesel Bowser pumps for these things, but they're getting a full day out of these machines. They've been using machines like this now ever since they've come into the UK. And I'm going to be talking about some of their senior people about the impact that's had, not just on their business at Sunbelt Rentals, but more importantly, on big construction projects and small construction projects around the UK.
I'd like to think that with one notable exception whose presence will never sully this fine broadcast, I am largely impartial when it comes to publicising the work of all demolition companies. That being said, there are some companies I watch from afar with a certain degree of additional respect and admiration. Give you an example: Despe in Italy, Cardem in France, Nickow in New Zealand, Liberty Industrial in Australia, CDI in the US, and Priestley Demolition in Canada, to name but a few. And when I need a finish fix, I turn to 1R. That company has just carried out the explosive demolition of a 133-metre tall boiler house at the, I'm going to give this a try, Christina Kaupunki, which I probably haven't pronounced right, power station, and we've got a video to prove it. So stand by and let's check out this great finale. See what I did there? I live in Surrey. It's nice, leafy even. The schools are good, and the biggest crimes around here are crimes against fashion generally, but just up the road there's another Surrey. A better Surrey. A Surrey where they check your bank balance before allowing you to drive through. A place where the local estate agent drives a Tesla. And I kid you not. This, my friends, is the Stockbroker Belt, a place where the noise, dust and vibration of demolition would be cause for a community meeting over Prosecco and canapes. Which is why I'm pleased to report that the good folks of West Byfleet selected the right company to tackle the demolition of Sheer House, smack bang in the middle of well-heeled West Byfleet. As this project is just up the road from me, I dropped by yesterday, completely unannounced, to take a look at what Squibb Group is up to. If I say the name Engcon to you, what product do you think of? It's tilt rotators, right? The company was one of the tilty pioneers, and its name is synonymous with that product. But as you're about to see, Engcon is more than just a one-trick pony.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/demolition news.